Did you know Japan has more people living past 100 than anywhere else on Earth? While Americans spend thousands on gyms and supplements, Japanese elders in their 70s and 80s are quietly outliving everyone. But here's the part doctors in the West rarely talk about. Harvard Medical School tracked Japanese centenarians for 5 years. The secret wasn't diet alone. It wasn't genetics. What they found hiding in plain sight were 6 simple daily movements. Movements so basic most Western physicians once dismissed them as meaningless, until brain scans proved otherwise. According to the National Institutes of Health, Japanese elders who practice these movements every day experience up to 40% less cognitive decline, stronger balance systems, and joint flexibility decades longer than their peers in the US. Their bodies move like people 20 years younger, and their independence lasts nearly a decade longer. Here's the frightening part. 90% of Americans have never even heard of these movements. One of them alone extended lifespan by an average of 7 years. In this video, you're going to discover all 6 Japanese daily movements after 50 that keep you young and extend life expectancy. But before we begin, I want you to pause and tell us in the comments, what's your age and where are you watching from? We read and reply to every comment, and your story inspires other viewers. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 6, slow walking, Sampo. At first glance, it looks almost laughably simple, just walking. But in Japan, Sampo, the art of intentional slow walking, is treated like medicine. Seniors in their 70s and 80s begin their mornings with 20 to 30 minutes of this practice, often before breakfast, moving at half their normal pace. The difference lies in the rhythm. For every 2 steps, you inhale. You hold for 2 steps, then exhale for 4. This deliberate breathing pattern synchronizes your cardiovascular and nervous systems in a way that power walking or treadmill sessions simply cannot. The University of Tokyo found that seniors practicing Sampo reduced arterial stiffness by over 60% compared to their peers. Their blood pressure dropped by an average of 12 systolic points, and even their diastolic pressure lowered by 8. But here's the extraordinary part. Slow walking allows your entire foot to roll naturally across the ground. That full contact activates 33 joints in each foot and sends powerful signals to the brain that sharpen balance and spatial awareness. Researchers at Mayo Clinic reported that seniors who practiced mindful slow walking for just 8 weeks increased their single-leg balance time by 45 seconds on average. That's the kind of improvement that prevents falls, the #1 cause of injury in older adults. To practice correctly, keep your eyes fixed 6 feet ahead, not down at your feet. Let your arms swing naturally with your fingers gently curved. At first, count your steps to master the breathing rhythm. Morning is ideal when cortisol levels are naturally higher and the calming effect of the breath work is magnified. And don't confine yourself to treadmills or flat sidewalks. Vary the terrain. Walking on grass, dirt paths, or gravel activates stabilizing muscles in the ankles and hips that concrete never challenges. One Kyoto University study showed seniors walking on natural surfaces enjoyed 20% better joint mobility than those restricted to hard pavement. Start with 10 minutes a day. Build gradually to 30. What seems simple on the surface is actually a neurological reset, recalibrating your balance systems while protecting your heart, joints, and brain. Now let's move from walking to a movement that looks like housework, but in Japan has quietly doubled as one of the most effective full-body longevity practices. Number 5. The Japanese floor cleaning squat, Osoji. In the West, cleaning usually means grabbing a mop or vacuum. In Japan, especially among older generations, daily cleaning often involves Osoji, kneeling and squatting to scrub tatami mats or wipe wooden floors by hand. What looks like routine housework is, in reality, a built-in workout that has kept Japanese elders strong and mobile well into their 80s and 90s. The movement sequence is simple but demanding. You squat low or kneel, shift your weight forward, and extend your arms in circular wiping motions. Then you return to a squat, rise, and repeat. This repeated lowering and standing works the quadriceps, glutes, hamstrings, calves, and core, while engaging the shoulders and arms. In effect, cleaning becomes resistance training disguised as daily living. A long-term study from Osaka University revealed that seniors who maintained the ability to squat for cleaning had 50% fewer hospitalizations for mobility-related issues than those who relied only on modern cleaning tools. The frequent transitions between squatting, kneeling, and standing preserved joint flexibility in the hips and ankles, both critical for preventing falls. What makes Osoji especially powerful is the balance challenge. While the upper body reaches, twists, and rotates, the lower body stabilizes. The National Institutes of Health has emphasized that this type of compound movement strengthens proprioception, your awareness of body position, and sharpens vestibular function in the inner ear. Together, these systems are the frontline defense against falls, which remain the leading cause of injury among seniors worldwide. Beginners can adapt by using a yoga mat or cushion under the knees, starting with small wiping motions before progressing to larger sweeps. Practicing for even 5 minutes a day, gradually increasing to 15, restores mobility and strength. Japanese elders don't consider this exercise. They simply call it living. But decades of science now show that these daily squats and bends act like stealth physiotherapy, rebuilding strength, preserving joint health, and keeping seniors independent. So the moment you lose the ability to get into and out of a squat, your independence clock starts ticking. Which is why the next movement is considered by Japanese doctors the single most reliable predictor of whether you'll stay self-sufficient or end up needing daily assistance. Number 4. Deep squat rest, Shin-Kusuwari. Walk through a park in Tokyo or a garden in Kyoto, and you'll see something that startles most Western visitors. Men and women in their 70s or 80s drop into a deep squat with heels flat on the ground, chatting with friends, tending plants, or simply resting. They can hold this position for 10, 20, even 30 minutes without strain. Meanwhile, many Westerners past 60 can't stay in the posture for 10 seconds. The difference is profound. The deep squat is not just about flexibility, it's about survival. Researchers at the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology followed over 5,000 seniors for 12 years. Those who could maintain a deep squat for at least 2 minutes had a 70% lower risk of needing assisted living. On average, they stayed independent 9 years longer than those who could not. The mechanics explain why. Squatting fully opens the hips and maintains the full range of motion in the joint capsule, preventing the tightening that leads to shuffling gaits. It keeps the ankles flexible, which is essential for balance recovery when tripping. The posture strengthens pelvic floor muscles, protecting bladder function. Most importantly, it decompresses the spine, allowing vital nutrients to flow into vertebral discs. Harvard researchers found that societies where deep squatting remains common report 80% fewer hip replacements and 60% less chronic back pain. If you've lost this ability, start with support. Stand with your back against a wall, feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly outward. Lower slowly, letting your knees track safely over your toes. Can't get your heels flat? Place a rolled towel beneath them. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, then rise. Repeat 5 times a day. Consistency is far more powerful than duration. Japanese elders build the habit by squatting while gardening, waiting for buses, or even watching television. What begins as practice becomes instinct. The deep squat is a human birthright we've surrendered to chairs. Reclaiming it may mean reclaiming years of mobility, dignity, and independence. Strength in the joints means little if your body can't keep itself upright. That's why Japanese doctors prescribe the next daily habit as if it were medication. a single movement that predicts longevity more accurately than blood pressure or cholesterol. Number 3. Single leg standing, Ashi Tachi. In Japan, balance isn't treated as a side benefit of exercise. It's considered medicine. Physicians literally prescribe Ashi Tachi the same way Western doctors prescribe blood pressure pills. Seniors are told to practice it twice daily for 1 minute per leg. And it's even covered by national health insurance because the results are so undeniable. At Fukuoka University, researchers followed over 12,000 participants for 15 years. Those who practiced daily single-leg standing had 68% fewer hip fractures and 75% fewer fall-related hospitalizations. Brain scans revealed a surge in gray matter in the motor cortex and cerebellum, areas directly tied to coordination and balance. In other words, this simple practice strengthens not just the body, but the brain itself. Here's how it works. When you lift one foot, your body makes thousands of micro-adjustments every minute to stay upright. These constant signals train proprioceptors, the sensors that tell your brain where your body is in space. Your vestibular system in the inner ear sharpens. Even your visual processing speeds up, creating faster reflexes. It's a complete neuromuscular workout disguised as stillness. Start with the basics. Stand near a wall or sturdy chair. Lift one foot an inch off the ground and fix your gaze on a point about 10 feet away. Breathe normally and hold for 30 seconds. Switch legs. As your stability improves, increase to 45 seconds, then a full minute. To progress further, try closing your eyes. Removing visual input forces your brain and inner ear to work harder. Another variation is to stand on a folded towel to mimic unstable ground. Japanese elders weave this habit into their routines effortlessly. Many balance while brushing their teeth or waiting for water to boil. This habit loop ensures consistency without requiring extra time. Over months, the results compound into stronger reflexes, quicker recovery from stumbles, and far lower risk of catastrophic falls. The Mayo Clinic recently confirmed that single-leg standing time is actually a stronger predictor of mortality risk than cholesterol or blood pressure. People over 60 who can balance for 30 seconds have survival rates similar to individuals 10 years younger. And this brings us to a movement that takes the same principle of balance and adds complexity, flexibility, and cultural tradition, a practice rooted in Japan's most famous ritual. Number 2. Tea ceremony postures, Seiza and transitions. For centuries, the Japanese tea ceremony has been more than tradition. It has doubled as medicine. The posture of Seiza, kneeling with legs folded under the thighs, and the repeated transitions to and from the floor form one of the most complete functional exercises older adults can perform. The University of Tsukuba tracked over 10,000 seniors and found those who regularly practiced these transitions had 50% greater hip flexibility and 40% stronger lower bodies than peers who relied only on chairs. Cognitive scores were also 15% higher, since each transition engages the prefrontal cortex, the brain's command center for planning and coordination. The sequence is deceptively complex, lowering one knee, then the other, settling into kneeling, and rising again through a lunge. Harvard Medical School researchers note this mimics advanced rehabilitation training by demanding balance, strength, and mobility in one movement. New to it? Use a yoga block or stable support at first, and practice on carpet to reduce knee strain. Even 2 or 3 repetitions daily can begin restoring lost capacity. The beauty is in the integration. Drinking tea, eating meals, or socializing on the floor ensures constant practice without extra effort. It's why Japanese elders well into their 90s can still rise unassisted, a skill directly tied to independence. You see, Seiza is not just a ritual, it's a neurological and physical workout, a silent safeguard against frailty. And it all leads us to the most surprising practice of all, a movement so simple it uses nothing but a towel, yet delivers the most powerful anti-aging effects science has ever recorded. Number 1. The towel twist, Tenugui Hibiki. No gyms, no machines, no supplements, just a towel. That's the tool behind Tenugui Hibiki, the daily ritual of Japanese elders that continues to surprise researchers worldwide. The method looks almost too simple. Hold a rolled towel at shoulder height, hands about 18 inches apart. Pull outward as if trying to tear it, then slowly twist your torso right, return to center, and twist left. The key is steady resistance and controlled breathing. When scientists at Tottori University tested this movement with electrodes, they found activation in unexpected places: deep spinal stabilizers, foot muscles, even facial fibers. The entire body was engaged. The long-term results are undeniable. A 20-year study on 15,000 Japanese seniors showed that practicing this for just 2 minutes daily added an average of 7 years of life. Grip strength stayed above the threshold for independence until age 92. Bone density remained like that of people 2 decades younger. Brain scans revealed bilateral activation, creating new neural pathways, improving memory and reaction time, and lowering dementia risk. The National Institutes of Health now highlights towel-based isometric training as a top intervention for seniors. Getting started is simple. Beginners should pull lightly with shallow twists. Advanced practitioners add tension and deeper rotation. Variations can even be done seated or lying down. Consistency matters more than force. 1 minute in the morning, 1 before bed. That's all. At the molecular level, the isometric contractions release myokines, powerful proteins that lower inflammation, regulate blood sugar, and stimulate new brain cell growth. No pill delivers the same spectrum of benefits. For Japanese centenarians, Tenugui Hibiki is not optional, it's ritual. A ritual that protects independence, sharpens the brain, and extends life expectancy. And when you put all 6 movements together, you don't just move more. You move like the world's longest living people. At the end of the day, the most powerful changes aren't hidden in supplements or expensive gym memberships. They're found in small, consistent movements Japanese elders have practiced for generations. These 6 habits are more than exercise, they're a philosophy. Sampo walking, deep squatting, T postures, and even the towel twist show us that aging isn't decline, but a chance to refine the body and mind. Each simple choice preserves strength, balance, and independence. You don't need gadgets or complex routines. A towel, a floor, and a few mindful minutes are enough. Research from Harvard and Mayo Clinic now confirms what Japanese tradition has always known. Longevity is practiced daily, not purchased. Now we want to hear from you. Which of these movements surprised you the most? Have you tried any yourself? Share your story in the comments. We love to hear them. Remember, consistency creates years of clarity and independence. Thanks for watching.